Update. I heard my BF's parents say racist things about me. Your BF is on your side. That's key. His parents do not define your relationship, and it sounds like you guys are on the right track. F people who tell you to break up with him because of his parents. Almost every post on this subreddit is just people saying wow op. Major red flags. You dropped these, you gotta get out as soon as possible, babe. Well, that worked out pretty much as well as it could have. Not a lot of people would wake their folks up at 2 AM to ream them out. Tell them to F off and take you and your things and leave. I feel bad he feels like he has to be so apologetic. His reaction makes it pretty clear he never would have even considered this if he had known they were the same as before. He must be so ashamed of his family and scared he will lose you because of them. Glad you kids are going to give it a shot. There is one piece of advice that I think applies, and it's this. You treat every single partner like they are the one till they aren't, and he did that to the extreme for you. Sorry you two had to deal with that. It's 2020 and this won't be the last time you guys have to deal with racist assholes. But there is a big silver lining. You both have an amazing screening tool for worthless people too. Friends, family, co-workers, etc. They will make it very obvious they are garbage, and you will never have to waste your time. Kids apologizing for their parents' crappy behavior always makes me sad. It's a shitty thing to feel embarrassed by the person who you're supposed to be looking up to and learning from. I spent a lot of time wanting to apologize for my mother when I was little. It turns out she had BPD that got progressively worse over the years, and that she didn't want to take medication for. I'm no longer in state. But my father and sister got a lifetime no contact order issued based on how she reacted to a divorce. If you have to apologize for your parents, you should also start considering whether the parental relationship should maintain the emotional aspect or become a strictly biological thing. Physically, of course I have a mother. Emotionally, my mother died a long time ago. I feel super fortunate that I've got a wonderful new family I've built myself. And I always try to bring others from similar backgrounds into my family. My cutoff wasn't as dramatic or racially motivated. But I had to have a conversation with my parents that was similar to the conversation Ops BF had with his parents. Just on the religious side. We are going on 10 years together, and I couldn't imagine myself with anyone else. I didn't read your other post, but holy crap, this is what you want out of a partner. It sounds like he 100% has your back and is choosing you over his parents. The willingness to immediately leave, not try and minimize the situation, and take full responsibility for being in that situation really shows his character, not just as a person, but as your partner. Imo, you're lucky to have him. Yes, if you spend your life with him, his parents will have to either change their ways or you will have to cut contact, but it seems he has no problem with that, as long as he's got you. From personal experience, dealing with tough S like this will bring you two closer and cement what sounds like an already great relationship. Best of luck. I also want to add, I would kill for a partner as devoted as he seems to be. Don't second guess anything, Opus. Good luck and tell your boy I think he's a badass. I didn't necessarily read this as devotion, not that he isn't devoted, it just seems like he's a really solid person. That was the right thing to do. And he didn't hesitate. I feel really sorry for him actually. What a horrible situation to be put in by his own parents. By their own faults. Not his. If they want a role in his life, change your ways or change your role. They did this. They need to own their own shit. Agree with you on every level. He has independent morals and values from his parents. And you know you can trust him to have your back in the future now. I think you're making the right choice in sticking by him based on who he is and how you feel about him. Friends and significant others can feel more like family than actual family. So he's right that their opinion does not matter. So true. Your boyfriend is a very good man. It takes a lot of courage to do what he did. He confronted his parents straight away and removed you both from the situation. Your relationship definitely sounds worth it. I wish you both the best XX. Thank you, XX. BTW, I didn't contact Daily Mail. They published my post without asking me. I don't doubt that for 1 second. Modern journalism, if you can call it that, seems to consist of them trawling through social media posts trying to find content. Couldn't Top make them take it down? Probably not. My bet is that in the terms and conditions, there is something like once you post it is free in the internet or something like that. Black man hating a white woman here. His response is the only acceptable responsimo. If he will do that to his parents, then you know he will do it when some mess like that happens with your future children, and that's the key. If you're gonna be white and potentially raising non-white children, this is the work you gotta be willing to put in. Best of luck to you both. As a white father of non-white children, it's very hard to imagine anyone in my position not fighting fiercely for their children. Not because of their skin color, but because they are my kids. Any suggestion that white men love their non-white children less is ludicrous. That's not what he was suggesting. I think he meant that if you are a white person with non-white kids, you have to be very ready to stick up for them and put your neck on the line. Not because they deserve that any more or less than white kids would or do, but because the world is a lot more likely to come after them on the basis of their race. He wasn't saying that's what he suggested. He was just saying it in general. Op, you should be proud of your man. I know adults in their 50s that still can't stand up to their parents. But this young man immediately had your back 100%. He stood by you. He confronted his parents. He told them they were not only wrong, but that they would not see or hear from either of you for a long time as a direct result of their fucked up beliefs. He made sure you had the choice to be a part of the confrontation and the choice to opt out if you wanted to. And then he immediately got you out of the situation and sincerely apologized. Has got a good head on his shoulders. And he clearly cares about you very much. It's hard to stand up to your folks. It's even harder for some to cut them off when you realize your folks are toxic. Your boyfriend probably should have warned you ahead of time, so it didn't come as such a surprise when they finally started vocalizing their shitty views. But I understand why he didn't. He genuinely wanted them to have changed, and he genuinely wanted you to have a good time. Worry free. He acted the best he could given the situation, and you have every right to be proud of him. He did good. And has shown you that he will have your back, even if it comes down to family conflict and pressures. If he can confront his own parents that way, he can confront anything that comes his way. He sounds like a good partner. And he sounds very sweet and caring. You are a lucky girl. He very clearly cherishes you. Hold on to each other. The two of you can take on anything. It's honestly extremely refreshing to see someone's partner sticking up for them completely without question. I know you said his parents and him aren't close as it is. But make sure you give him a little extra reassurance and support. Make sure he knows he can talk to you about how he's feeling. Going no contact, temporary or otherwise, with your family is hard. A lot of conflicting emotions can pop up. He might be sad for a little while, since he was so hopeful that they finally changed their ways. You two sound like a good couple. I hope you guys have a long and happy future together. Thank you so much. That's heartbreaking. But you guys came out of it strong. He sounds like a good man. Good luck. Thanks. I'm Kenyan too, and this situation is literally my worst nightmare. I'm so sorry you had to go through that. Your boyfriend seems like a keeper. He didn't minimize their racist remarks and confronted them. He's a good guy. I wish you all the best. If worst comes to worst, at least you have your incredible African family. Thank you, and you're right. If only Daily Mail could have as good morals as your boyfriend. LMAO, I can't believe they really took a Reddit post and published it onto their site. TF. They do it all the time. And BuzzFeed too. A lot of newspapers do it with Twitter too. They fire all their staff and then have to steal content to fill the pages. Well, if it fits the narrative they want to push. I'm so happy he took your side, and it is disgusting what the Daily Mail did. I get that it is quarantine and Kim Kardashian is on lockdown. But that doesn't mean they should publish your story like that. But I'm glad you had a happy ending. You seem like a sweet soul. Thank you. What does POC means? I'm from Brazil and here POC means you're part of the LGBT community. Person of color. Anyone who's not considered white. Might be a shock to you, but Hispanics and even Brazilians are kinda lumped into that group. Anyone who's not white that could be discriminated against because of their skin tone and sometimes culture. I only say that because I know some Brazilians, and they were shocked that some Americans wouldn't consider them as being white. In fact, I'm not even surprised by this. The racial issue here in Brazil is not taken seriously. Our president is so ignorant as to say that I'm not at risk of having a black daughter-in-law because my children were well educated. And many of the people who would be shocked for not being considered white make this kind of comment here.